Okay, here we go. We're going to work on the SEO of the new page that we've just created, which was a project page. So I'm going to go to the project page, which is the kitchen stunning country style, and I'm going to click on edit. So unlike normally we would edit with Divi to go onto the page, we're just going to click edit here. And this is going to open up the standard WordPress back-end editor version of the page. And you can see here on the left, we've got our Yoast section. So this whole entire section down here on the left is the Yoast plugin. And a Yoast plugin is our SEO plugin. It's free, it's standard. Every WordPress should have a Yoast plugin because it is free. But there's lots of components that we can edit in that section to turn our red lights into hopefully green lights, but amber at a minimum. And then over on the right-hand side here, we've got our standard editing system per page within WordPress as well. And we're going to combine the updates from our Yoast section on the left into the standard right-hand section. And together, that's where we'll see our SEO improvements. So for the moment, because I've already just uploaded the kitchen stunning country style photos and whatnot, I know that the photos are there sitting there fresh to use. So I'm going to go and pick up the project sized image that I did last and add it as the featured image. And so I at least know that that's done. And I'm going to go to the page and copy that excerpt that I had on the main screen. So if you remember when we set that up, we've got a number of different little snippets down the page, but the one from the project page is the same sentence from the top of the kitchen projects page, which makes it nice and handy for us to use that as our option. That's bringing up the page in another tab here. So I'm going to copy that sentence and paste it into the excerpt. And I'm also going to select that and paste it into the meta description here on the left. So basically the excerpt on the right and the meta description on the left can be the same if it's short enough. And we don't need to make anything shorter in the excerpt because we've got a bit more space there. But in the meta description, this is where we can edit to A, make sense, but B, become shorter. So, you know, we don't need to be full of sentence structure here, but hopefully we can get it down to include some keywords as well as some descriptions. So we're just going to think about that and write that as we're watching the video. Now I've rewritten that. I'm just rereading the right-hand side because I did take so much away and just double checking that it also makes sense. and adding the room to the room list there of what's been renovated. So I've just scroll back up here. I haven't put my focus key phrase yet. So I'm going to use country style as the key phrase here, because that's what is in the title of the actual page itself, which means it's also it's in the slug here. The slug is what are the words that come under after www.briswestrenovations.com.au/. So we've got country style in that. So that's a tick for SEO for us. We haven't actually put country style here. And I could put that back into the meta description, actually. Now I'm thinking of it. So that I've got it in the slug, it's on the title of the page, it's in the meta description, it's also the country style is the focus key phrase. And the only thing that I would say is that the feature image doesn't have probably the words country style in it. So I'm going to just go and check and add them on. In fact, I don't need to change that. I'll just add those words on. And I'm now going to update the pages just to see how far we get. I know that we've already gone orange here on our rating, which is great. But the readability is not good, but we haven't edited anything that Rebecca's written here whatsoever. So that is something that we're going to have to do across the whole site. Unfortunately, it's a big amount of effort this far into the future. However, an ongoing project that's worthwhile for BrisWest for sure. And now I'm going to go in and have a look at the actual SEO analysis, which is what we see at the bottom of the plugin section. And it actually tells us what we can do to make improvements. So there's that image key phrase. That wasn't actually in the title, even though I've put it as the alternate text. The key phrase in the SEO title, while we've got the country style is in the SEO title, so I'm not really sure why it thinks that it's not there. Or once it at the beginning is what it's saying, but just as long as it's in there, that's about as good as you can get from my perspective on that anyway. But this is where we go back. These red problems here with key phrases and subheadings and densities and introduction, that's all within the article itself or the paragraph of project text here. So we can't do anything about that here on this plugin. That will come with Rebecca's editing or our editing of Rebecca's writing essentially. So that's about as good as we can get this without doing anything with the text at the moment. We've got at least gone up a level, which is our absolute goal here. So I'm just going to update and then go back to the main screen, and we'll be able to see now when we go to the kitchen page where it's listed alphabetically that we've gone up one stage at least. So not too bad. In terms of editing her text, we would need to go and actually edit on the page now that it's a live project and make some changes, in which case I'd probably open up the Word document and make those changes there and then paste them into the page. Now, I've also got a readability check website that we can use for free, and I actually do try to make those changes on long blogs like this particular one. This one of Rebecca's is longer than her normal ones, but this is the one that we're also going to separate into 2 or 3 or at least 2, one for bathrooms and laundries to move to a new page, and then keep this long one with the kitchen. So we will do more work with this one, and you know, we're going to take into we'll take into account all the things that we know is going to happen with a particular project. So we can't necessarily get perfection all the time. So in that regard, I'm going to close this off, work on it in Word, and then come back later. But that's all we can do really now for the SEO, because we've already done as much as we can for the photos on this page before we loaded them up. So that's always an absolute bonus. And the only other thing that we might do to this page is actually add about another button at the bottom here that says, if you'd like to view the bathroom and laundry of this house, go to that page. But we'll do that once that bathroom projects page is up and running. The same as the Hamptons house projects. So those two things can all be worked on and done at the same time.